With the speed, thief, and Kong vault, both the speed and the thief build off of the step vault. So the better you get at your step vault, the easier the speed and thief will be. With the step vault, it's one hand opposite foot making that window and stepping through. With the speed and thief, it's the same mechanics. The mechanics of the step vault, one hand opposite foot. If you look at this, taking off of my left foot, using my left hand, using my right foot on the box, and then being on my left foot on the way out. With the speed vault, I'm gonna get rid of the foot on top of the box. So when you look at it, everything is the same side. I'm taking off of my left foot, using my left hand, and then landing on my left foot. The speed vault is about speed and maintaining that speed. We don't want to approach the box and have our body go here and then come back down. We want to be more in a straight line where I lift my legs and then they go straight back down. So I don't want to swing my hips up. It's not a up and down. I want to be as straight up as I can and then straight back down. I don't want my chest to do a lot of this. It's going to do a little bit of it, but I don't want to go here and then here. Sometimes when first learning this, it's helpful to take that imaginary step in the air, almost like you're doing that step vault, but instead of stepping on the box, you're stepping in the air. That added step also adds a little bit of flair. Maybe not the fastest or most efficient, but it's definitely not slow. Again, wanting to be good at both sides, just like with our step vault, never knowing when we might have to use our left hand or our right hand. Doing the other side, same thing. If I go with my right foot, I use my right hand, put my right foot down. With the thief vault, again, it's that same progression of the step vault. Now, putting my back hand on. First progression is going to be to go into that step vault. As I step through, I replace my foot with my back hand. With it being the same mechanics as the step vault, I'm going to take off this left foot, use my left hand, go over the box as I throw my right leg over, and then put my right hand on. If I were to throw my other leg first, that's known as a lazy vault, and it doesn't have as much power. With the thief vault, I'm throwing my back leg, which gives me more power. It's important that I don't let my hips come up too much, because then I'll have a lot of force on that back arm, that back elbow. I'm thinking about just barely letting my hips and knees go over top of the box. I'm almost coming really close to kind of knocking my knees on the box. As I progress the thief vault, I want to start to use my foot on the box less and less. So I'm starting to just tap it more than actually put weight into it. And then I eventually get to the point where I just kick the whole leg over. With the Kong vault, we're now going to be Konging over the obstacle. Up till now, we've been doing Kong ups, which is hands on, feet on. Now we're looking to go hands on, feet over. Just like with the Kong up, the more I dive out, the higher my butt gets, the easier it is. I'm now maintaining my momentum to clear over the obstacle. I'm only having to clear 8 inches worth of obstacle. So if I can get my momentum moving forward, get my butt high, I will clear it. It becomes more difficult because you're afraid you're going to clip your feet. Again, the higher my butt is, the less chance of me clipping my feet. The way to practice this is on a wider box. If I can put my hands on the edge and have my feet land further than the 8 inches, then I know I will have cleared it. Mentally, it's safer because for some reason, there's less of a thought of clipping your feet when you know you're landing on something up here. The clipping of the feet comes from as I get up thinking I need to get my feet down to the ground so that I don't fall on my face. So people think they're gonna bring their feet in too soon. But if you have good momentum and good butt height, by the time you start to bring your feet down, you're already past that 8 inches of vault that you need to get over. Practicing it here, again, utilizing my forward momentum, that dive to land further on the box. I went way further than the 8 inches. I also got my feet down on something that's the same height. So if I have more time to get my feet down because I'm going to the ground, it's gonna be much easier. With the entrance into the Kong, we're gonna want to start to use our gather step, our split step. We don't wanna punch. Punching is 2 feet together and then diving over. With the gather step, it's more efficient. I'm gathering my power. I'm still jumping off of 2 feet, they're just split. I jump. I do not want to drive one heel as I jump off of 1 foot. Jumping off of 1 foot is less powerful than jumping off of 2. The way we figure out which foot's gonna be in front is I typically have people put their feet together, close their eyes, start to fall forward, and whatever foot they naturally put out is the foot that's gonna be in front. Ideally, you wanna get good at both because you never know when you might have to use both. But for right now, figuring out which one is more natural. With the feet distance, you don't want them too far apart that it becomes a step-step. It's a very quick, almost gallopy sound. It's step-step. It's really quick. You don't want it to separate where you're... It's a quick little hop into that gather of power that I can then explode from. The first progression is going to be to be in that split step. I'm gonna put my hands on and I'm just gonna practice jumping my butt in the air from this split position. Again, not driving a heel, jumping, sticking that butt in the air. Getting used to jumping off of both feet. It's gonna give you more power to get your butt higher. I'm then going to go step, hop into my gather, hands on, butt high. If my right foot is the one in front on my gather step, I'm gonna step with my right, hop to my gather, hands on, jump to butt high. Piece that together. I'm only taking 3 steps. Step, 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 jump. Again, step, 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 jump. One of the things we see a lot with the Kong is that people use their arms like this. They approach here. All my momentum is going down. I want to think about jumping. When I jump, I don't throw here, I load behind and I throw up. So same thing here, as I step and go into my gather, athletically getting ready to jump, loading my arms as I scoop them to dive to the box, jump, get my butt in the air. So I want to start to piece that together. So I go step, load, butt high. I then want to transfer that into the Kong up. So I'm step, hop, load, butt high, Kong up, and then eventually into the full Kong vault. Of course, the more run up you have, the more momentum you create, but the more run up you have, the more complex, the more complicated this gather step becomes. So the more you can practice just patterning this gather step on a box where you're doing a Kong up to further, the easier it will come when I start to add more momentum and more steps into it. Ideally, I want to continue running out of it by landing in that same gather step. If I'm moving out of it, I don't want to land on 2 feet and then run. I'm almost landing on 2 feet, just like when I'm gathered, I'm jumping off 2 feet, they're split. One's landing a little bit before the other, which if I'm moving out of something, I'm dispersing the force from coming into my body. If I'm taking a big landing, I want to land on 2 feet. If I'm trying to land on something precise, I want to land on 2 feet. Practicing the Kong pre to just the ground and getting both feet together is also important. Not what we're necessarily looking for right now. With the Kong and running out, I want to keep my chest forward. As I Kong over, I don't want to go here and then try to get my chest up for a number of reasons. I could, as I bring my chest up, lower my legs, clip my feet, but I'm also stopping my momentum. Just like with the Kong up to side Kong, we're Konging up and immediately falling with our chest forward to our hands. We don't want to Kong up, straighten up, and then go back down. As I do this, I want to think about keeping my chest forward and then dropping my legs once I clear. With the Kong pre, which is a little bit more advanced because I'm landing somewhere precise, I'm also having to get my chest up so that I don't land on something and fall forward. I'm trying to control my momentum. So it becomes a little more scarier in the head because now I have to get here, which again makes me think about clipping my feet. With the Kong Pre, once I Kong up, I'm pushing to get my feet back under me so that I can be in a landing position. As I go over, I'm gonna then try to get my feet in front of me so that I'm seeing what I'm landing on and then I have time to absorb in.